Here we are, video number 1. Today we're going to be focusing on being hydrated. And I know this is there's nothing new under the sun here. However, I wonder if you realize exactly what happens inside your body when you get dehydrated. And how can you tell if you're dehydrated anyway? So let me give you some clues. If you have a dry mouth, it's a pretty good chance that your body's trying to tell you that you need water. If you've got that kind of sick tummy feeling that sometimes people associate with being hungry, that dyspepsia can also be a sign that you might be dehydrated. If you take your skin and you pinch it like this, and it takes some time, like mine, to return to neutral, I actually did that on purpose, then you're probably dehydrated. And if you have a look at your pee first thing in the morning, we want that to be nice and clear. And if it's very yellow or very smelly, definitely chronically dehydrated. Now, if you drink alcohol, if you drink tea or coffee or smoke marijuana, you will also be potentially chronically dehydrated. So we're going to have a look at some things that you can do to be able to ensure that you have the hydration levels that you need. And I also am going to begin with explaining what happens inside your body when you are stressed, because dehydration is just one of the many drivers of stress in the body. The body's either working in a state of ease, we call this parasympathetic nervous system, and para in Latin means other than. So parasympathetic means other than stress, and sympathetic, S for sympathetic, S for stress. So the sympathetic nervous system mounts the stress response, which is essential sometimes, and the parasympathetic nervous system controls the rest and digest, regeneration processes, the integration processes, the healing, the restorative processes that we sometimes can be needing desperately, because ideally we spend 80% of our day in rest and digest. That's parasympathetic function. We only spend 20% of the day in a state of sort of adrenalized function, that stress response. However, most of us have it switched. So we're spending 80% of our day being stressed and only 20% of the day regenerating ourselves, or even worse. So there are a lot of drivers of stress, and I'll be posting all 16 of them on this messenger chat so that you can have a little look around. It's like a wheel. You can have a look around this wheel and try and work out for yourself what are the underlying causes of the challenges that you have with your health. Now, when we get dehydrated, our body goes into the stress response. We activate the sympathetic nervous system, and every single cell in our body changes its function as if there's an imminent disaster. Now, that means that when we're stressed, our digestion doesn't work very well. We can't assimilate and absorb nutrients so well. It might even influence our appetite. And so another thing that happens when we're stressed is that we don't really have great access to the prefrontal cortex. This executive center is essential if you want to make good decisions. And sometimes it's dysfunction here that stops us from being able to be persistent and consistent to move toward our health goals. So when we're stressed, brain doesn't work so well in a lot of different ways, which I hope to tell you about later. Now, another thing is that our liver's job is to get rid of waste. This is my right-hand side. I'm pointing to my liver area. Now, when we are stressed and we're in that sympathetic nervous system response to life, as though something bad is about to happen, then the liver can't get rid of waste very well. So these are all worth considering, because when we don't have enough water in our system, we are now in a state of fight or flight. And our goal is to spend less time in fight or flight and more time in a state of ease and grace, optimizing our ability to regenerate. So what do you think the first organs are that are compromised by dehydration? It's my clue. The first one is the brain. The second one is the lungs. But let's start off talking about the lungs. So inside your lungs, you have surface tension in the alveoli, and that surface tension allows oxygen to cross easily into the blood. Now, if we are dehydrated, the lung surface tension changes so that we can't so easily absorb oxygen into the blood. The end result is that our energy plummets. So for that reason alone, it would be great to make sure that you stay hydrated, and that means drinking between 2 and 3 litres of water every single day. Now, I pointed to the brain before because I'm a neuroscientist. Having been a chiropractor for 25 years, I've now retired from being a chiropractor. However, I've always been a passionate student, probably a little bit geeky for some, but I spend my evenings reading scientific papers, that kind of thing. So there's not a lot that I don't know about neurology and immunology and the relationship between those two functions. So what happens at the brain when we get dehydrated? Well, there's a lot of talk about mental health lately, and I can guarantee you that you cannot have good mental health if you are dehydrated. So if you're feeling flat, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling wired but tired, these are all signs that perhaps you're either not getting enough water or breathing deeply enough. We'll talk more about breathing another time, but for the moment, just understand that if you don't hydrate your body, you're not going to be able to function very well. The brain and the nervous system is electrical, and we require water to be able to optimize the communication system, not just in the nervous system, but also in the repair system, in the redox molecule production, because these redox molecules, tiny little molecules responsible for cellular communication, separate from the nervous system, they also require that we be adequately hydrated to be able to produce heaps of them. These molecules look for and destroy damaged cells and support the regeneration of healthy tissue. So please stay hydrated today. I am going to post or repost something that I posted in my coaching group about what to add to your water to be able to make it palatable and how to keep it fun. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you tomorrow for another video about your health and how to have more energy and vitality. Today, every hour on the hour, set your alarm or wear a bracelet, and every time you see it, or ask yourself, could I fit in another sip of water, a little bit more water, maybe another glass? They say about 8 glasses a day would be great. And maybe you could put in the comments down below how many litres of water you think that you drink on a day where you're not really concentrating on hydrating yourself. Our goal is to get you to between 2 and 3 litres so that you can be electrically amazing. You can have heaps of oxygen reaching all the cells of your body, and your brain works too. Have a great day.